Muslims are one of. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamualaikum. Give me guys 1 second so I can share the link with community. Oh, I so not like these scammers joining the community then sharing fake USDT wallets with hundreds of thousands of dollars and telling people to join them. This is crazy. So we have a lot to talk about today, and okay, let's start it. So today we received the news that the quantum computer that was supposed to be coming later, around 2030 or maybe later 2035, but the risk of quantum computer being able to crack Bitcoin wallets has increased drastically. And is it real or is it just a FUD? We're going to find that out. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys in a second because I talked about this inside community too. I think it's important for everybody to understand this, and I shared some important research as well that what is happening with it. So take a look at the screen. So this is the news, and the way people portray it makes things a lot worse. So that's what I call FUD. But the news itself is not a FUD. The way they write it, those that they create FUD, that's very important. So one thing that I always tell you guys is before you actually get manipulated by the news or at least accept what they're saying, you need to do proper research on what Bitcoin is and how things work. So even if you see here, it says Google says a quantum attack on Bitcoin takes just 9 minutes with a 41% success rate. And then if you see what is written here, Google now flags 2029 as a key deadline to upgrade Bitcoin's cryptography before quantum becomes a real threat. One thing that you should take note of is that people right now has invested a lot in Bitcoin, especially the institutions. And the current development team that is behind Bitcoin, they always work into finding a solution for the migration of the current Bitcoins into a safer anti-quantum wallet. Okay, so that is literally happening. And also, what I mentioned earlier is that by the time we reach that point that quantum computer can be a real threat, even if it gets launched by Google. First of all, it's a very expensive computer, okay? And it will not be in the hands of normal people or thieves to be able to actually do that. While this could also mean that Google may give the permission for governments to be able to use it, or if they would want to use it. So that's one case. Okay. And the second thing is that by the time we reach that point, AI is getting so advanced, you have no idea. It is getting so advanced that people are working with it to code, to find solutions, to put different narratives in it and come into a conclusion of what to do. And AI basically can code, can find solutions, can do things a lot faster than how humans are currently doing it, which takes months and years, but for AI it takes uh, days, okay, and even minutes in some cases, depending on what you need. So that's a good thing. So as things are evolving, as things are moving forward, there's always problems and there's always solutions for something. And instead of going and mass selling your Bitcoin or panic selling, you need to realize that most of the time these narratives, these news gets pushed by the algorithm that you see it in such a way that it is a real threat. Everybody starts posting about it, people start talking about it, people talk about their opinions about what is going to happen. But always come back to the fundamentals. That would help you a lot. And you will need to understand that I always tell you guys that don't put all your wealth into crypto. If you go and see the halal investing video that I did, you can go and see there are so many ways to do investment. But me personally, I think Bitcoin actually causes revolution, and it's a solution to the current broken system. And in order to uh, push this, it is our job to push it. It is our job as people to find solutions and not to be panicked. And also, it doesn't mean that you should go and put all your wealth into Bitcoin. Slowly, you can move it. Slowly, you can buy the lower prices. And that's how you can be safe in the long term. And let's say, let's suppose something happens and Bitcoin really crashes. You will need to have a plan for that. If it's a FUD and people start panic selling, or if, let's say the worst case scenario, if quantum computer is really able to do this and Bitcoin cannot migrate, then we should know that this system has failed. Okay, and now we are incapable, but it shouldn't still stop us uh, from developing new ways of migrating our money into cryptocurrencies, because this is the only solution I see. Uh, Decentralization of money is the actual solution of bringing back power to the humanity. Otherwise, if it's centralized, then what you see is always wars everywhere around the world, because if they can print money, they can buy politicians, they can buy scholars. Muslim scholars could also be part of it. Not could, there are a lot of them, unfortunately, that they can't say things against government. Unfortunately, they are so scared of their lives. So that's the thing. That's very unfortunate, but let's go and jump into the chart and see how the chart is doing, and if the chart has reacted and if the price has reacted to this. So as you can see, this has happened before the risk of quantum computer being out there, and you can see that the price is hovering between 65 to $68,000, and it couldn't cross it. If we get a close above $69,000 and a good retest, we can get in and trade Bitcoin. But as of now, I still think there is risk of it going down, because I showed you guys yesterday as well that US dollar has reached the point that it can get rejected, but we need to confirm it. Otherwise, what happens most of the time is people try to speculate, mostly leverage and option traders and margin traders. What happens to them is two things here, okay? Uh, or three things. First of all, for the best case scenario to happen, we need US dollar to close back below 98,000. Okay, so something like this would put us back into a bullish territory for crypto. That was one case. The second case is that it touches this resistance, which is above this level of 100, which people may think that, okay, this has broken resistance, but what happens is this last liquidity wick, which I always tell you guys, this gets triggered and then we get a fake out, then the price continues going lower. This is basically the trap that most of the time happens. It sometimes even go above it to trap even more people into thinking that US dollar is going to go higher. But if we check the third scenario, which is less likely, may or may not happen, is if things get worse, the price actually breaks. Okay, it goes even higher. Then it comes slowly down, then it makes a higher low, then the price continues going up. And then after that, you can see that the way is very much clear for US dollar to go higher against all the other currencies. This is the real risk of going back up, because since August 2022, like, it started coming down, like the first time it was on like July, not on August, like on September. Okay, so this was the top of it in 2022. That's where Bitcoin bottomed, and this is how far we have come. And yeah, if such thing happens, then we can say that, okay, things could get much worse than it is right now. Okay. And for USDT dominance, obviously my case is still the same. We have 1, 2, 3 flags, the same way that we have the bear flags on Bitcoin, we have the bull flags on Bitcoin, USDT dominance. Take a look at how important this level was, since I told you guys that it can hold and it can try to go up. And this was the scenario that we kept yesterday for the price to be able to go higher. If we are trying to bet with the momentum of the market, with the trend, we will need to wait for this scenario, okay? Going back below 7.89, or at least, or closing at 7.8% in USDT, then we can see more movement toward the downside. Otherwise, this is the way. I have told you guys since a very long time, even since here. Okay. Let's check Bitcoin dominance as well. You can see that Bitcoin dominance is still losing. It's because that people are going into USDT. It doesn't mean they're going into crypto. Only one thing, which is Zcash, which I talked about it yesterday too. If you guys were paying attention, you could have gotten this trade. But because of the risk of overall market, although I did get in, we took some profit from that trade, but we got out because of the risk of overall market. But it doesn't mean I don't hold a Zcash. I do hold, and I do hold a good amount in my long-term portfolio. So this is the thing, guys. You can see that total also keeps breaking, and it has broken this uh, trend line as well, and it's currently below it. We need this in order to go up even a little bit. For the overall direction of market is not enough. Maybe it can put back Bitcoin. If we do try to go up, where is the ceiling? It's $80,000, which I have been telling you guys for a very long time. This is the major resistance that if we want to really go into a bull run or something, we need to go above this. Otherwise, whenever it comes to this zone of above 74,000, it gets rejected and it comes down. So far, the thesis that we had from $76,000 to come back to 60 or 59, $58,000, you can see that it has gone down all the way, more than half of the way. It has gone down 14%, and where we wanted it to go is 18%. Almost it did what we wanted, but it doesn't mean that it can't go further. It is still in the area that I am looking into waiting area. What I mean is, like, I'm waiting. Um, yeah, ETH BTC is getting some momentum. There could be two causes for this. One, that the shift to quantum resistance uh, wallet, Ethereum was moving faster, but this is very natural too because of the way Ethereum and the things it's doing lately, uh, according to price. But still, if things go according to what we want, then we can just get into Ethereum right above this, right after closing at around 2100. But below that, I am still waiting for the price to go down, if it's gonna go down. Okay, but you guys should know that if the risk is for Bitcoin, if people really believe that quantum computer is much more risk and they want to move from Bitcoin, then the market will crash. It doesn't mean that people will get in immediately on Ethereum, but they will. Everything will go drastically down. And the one thing that is holding is Zcash, because it did break this line, which I talked about yesterday. It did break, then on the retest of it, we got in. But then, after a little profit, we got out because of the risk of overall market. Like before the risk of this news of quantum computer, I tell you guys not to focus on that too much. Anyways, so if people do think that that is a risk and they start selling, all the markets are gonna come down. But also, this has happened that because uh, Zcash has a lot more capabilities than Bitcoin right now. It is a privacy coin. It has the same supply, which it also has the same uh, halving cycle, that it keeps the amount of Zcash coming into market comes into half. On the other hand, it did come around 75% down from its all-time high. That's the reason Zcash is now performing very well. But it's not gonna really go into another bull run before breaking this. So once we break this line that it is holding, which I can just put a text here, and you can call it let's just call it resistance, and don't make things complicated, because once it's broken, we can expect the same move like the smaller one that has happened. It will happen in a bigger wave, Zcash will go back to its all-time high very, very quickly. So that's something to keep in mind. But so far, inside Halal Portfolio Premium, we have been accumulating. We have been taking profits on all these positions, and we have been buying into these territories. And that's why, Alhamdulillah, we are in good hands. Although the market is not doing good, but the way we have made our portfolio is what is performing very well. So if you want to join our community, the links are down below. The community is for free. But if you want to learn more and join our group trades and private chats and all those things, then the link will be down below. You can check that out too. So that's it. And for Solana, let me go through these as well very quickly. You can see that Solana is down. We had all these three scenarios, and this has happened perfectly. If we make an adjustment and take this as a zone, it may give us an opportunity to go back to these levels. But as you guys know, we have enough Solana and we accumulate in lower prices. Now, since the trend is broken, we should not go against the trend right now, okay? That's what I really believe. We should not go against the trend. If we want a short-term trade, we can do these things. But as of now, I am not interested into like swinging these positions. What I am interested is if it closes above 85, then I will see what I can do. And yeah, Dogecoin as well as in this line of support, and you can see that it is turning. So to come back to a conclusion, yes, the way the market behaves sometimes is that if the threat, it's something that it is known, quantum computer, for a very long time. Now, if you see these get pushed to you while the prices are already down, most of the time it means either a local bottom or a bottom. Okay, so for now, since the data suggests that I should still wait, then I'm gonna wait. But if you want to accumulate, it can't be better than these times because the prices are drastically down. If you see it from this perspective, Ethereum is down around 64%. We might have counter rallies before going even lower. But if you can time it, if you know technical analysis, and if you can do proper risk management, then good for you. You should trade it. Why not? Okay, last thing, let's check the liquidation heat map because it's been a while since last time we have checked it. So on the weekly and also on the 3-day, we can see that there are some levels that can be taken out. So if you see the coin glass chart, there was a lot of liquidations below, but a lot did happen too. It's not like people didn't get liquidated. A lot of them got liquidated. Not now, the liquidations are sitting above $69,000. You can see that from 69,000 extended back to $72,000. And also at this chart, you can see that the heat is around 69,000 until $70,000 too in CoinAnk. So it's quite possible we get a counter rally for a short period of time before the price goes lower, or it could be just another fake out. That's why I want to be much more patient because we have not just one, three different beautiful portfolios for our long terms and for our short terms. So if you guys like this content, make sure it reaches to more people, because at these times in the market when people don't feel like trading, don't feel like buying anything, the sentiment is down, their emotions are down, they don't actually search for these things. So we want to reach to all Muslims, and all humans, if possible, to teach them the ethical way, the Islamic way, which is the true way of doing things and not going against the world of Allah. So make sure these content reaches to those that are interested in this market, and they can learn from it, and they can see the way we do analysis and take benefits of these analysis. That said,